You're a professional football player. You just played in front of 60,000 people. You got hit so hard on Sunday that your ribs are still sore on Wednesday. You are, by every definition, a professional athlete. Monday morning, you go to work.
At the stadium?
Nope. At an insurance office or a construction site or a classroom.
Wait, what?
Look, Matt, in the 1960s, most professional athletes had second jobs in the off season. Not because they were broke, and not because something went wrong, because their salary as a professional, elite, top-tier athlete wasn't enough to carry them throughout the year.
That doesn't make any sense.
And here's the part that makes it even harder to believe. They were still some of the highest paid people in America. So what happened? How did we get from a world where the best athletes in the country held second jobs to a world where they make $500 million? More importantly, what does that journey tell us about something that's quietly happening every retirement plan in America right now?
I have a feeling this isn't really about sports. We got another financial conversation on our hands here.
It never was. I'm Kevin Ross. I spent over 30 years helping people retire with confidence, not anxiety.
I'm Matt Floyd, 15 years in banking, here to ask the questions you're thinking and to keep Kevin honest.
And today we're starting a series, 8 episodes, called The Price of Greatness. And we start at the beginning.
All right, Kevin, take us back. What did the world actually look like for a professional athlete in the 1960s?
All right, let me give you some real numbers here because the numbers tell the whole story. In 1967, confirmed by the Major League Baseball Players Association, the average Major League Baseball player was making $19,000 a year.
$19,000. I remember my first corporate job paid me $19,000 a year. And I wondered how the heck I was going to spend all that money.
Right. $19,000. The NFL average was about $12,000. The NBA average was around $15,000.
Yeah, that sounds like nothing.
I know what you're thinking, but hold on, because everyone makes the same mistake when they hear those numbers. They think, how did anyone survive on that? But they were using today's prices to judge yesterday's money. And that is the exact same mistake that will destroy a retirement plan.
Okay, so what was $19,000 actually worth back then?
All right, let me give you the full picture. In 1967, same year, same America, the average doctor made $18,000 to $25,000. A corporate top executive made around $25,000, maybe to $30,000. A school teacher made around $6,500. A minimum wage worker working full-time brought home roughly around $2,900 a year.
So a baseball player making $19,000 was making about what a doctor made.
About the same as a doctor, more than 3 times what a teacher makes, 6 times what a minimum wage worker earned. They weren't struggling, Matt. They were elite earners.
All right, so if they were elite earners, why did they need second jobs?
Because elite earnings in proportion to everything around you and enough money to live on year round are not the same thing, okay? The season was short, the paycheck stopped, and the off-season bills didn't. But here's where it gets powerful. Let me show you exactly what things actually cost. In 1965, right in the heart of this era, the median price of a home in the United States was $20,000.
I'll take 10, please.
I'll say that again slowly. $20,000. That's not a guess. That's directly from the U.S. Census data.
Right. So a baseball player making $19,000 could nearly buy a whole house just in 1 year. Or one season, really. 'Cause
Yeah.
like you said, the paycheck stopped after the game stopped.
1 year, salary, 1 house.
I cannot wrap my head around that. my roof cost $20,000.
A new car costs $2,650. Gas, it's 31 cents a gallon. You could take your family to a ball game, tickets, hot dog, soda the whole night for about $10, maybe $15 if you lived in New York. Total.
So when you put it in context like that, they weren't poor. They were actually doing really well.
Yeah, they were doing very well in proportion to everything around them. But now here's where the comparison that should stop, I think, everyone cold.
Yeah, hit me.
Today, 2025, 2026, the median home price in America, $420,800. The average household income's about $78,000. It now takes the average American family more than 5 years of total income to afford the median home.
5 years versus 1 year.
5 years versus 1 year. And that gap didn't happen overnight. It didn't make headlines. Nobody sent you a memo. It just happened quietly, year after year after year. That's what inflation actually looks like when you zoom out far enough to see it.
So it's not just that the houses got more expensive. It's that the relationship between your income and your cost of living fundamentally changed.
Now you're thinking like a retirement planner, Matt.
All right, so we've established that athletes were proportionately well paid in the 60s. Everything was cheaper. It all makes sense in that context. So what changed?
A few things started moving all at once. Television, not just television existing, but the money television was willing to pay to put sports in front of people every week. Networks figured out that people would sit in front of a box in their living room and watch other men play games week after week happily. And the advertisers were very interested in that whole phenomenon.
Yeah, so that TV money starts flowing.
That's right. And back in the day, a TV was actually in a box, like a big piece of furniture.
It was a piece of furniture.
Yeah. It's not,
a bar built
it's
into
not like
one
a
end and
mirror
record
on
player
the wall
other.
or a picture on the wall like today. All right. And so here's what happened. TV money starts flowing. Stadiums start filling up. Sponsorships start growing. And a few smart athletes started looking around and thinking, wait a minute. If the owners are selling that many tickets and that many TV deals, what am I actually worth?
Yeah, I mean, the audience is quadrupled. I think I'm worth, if I'm making a quarter, I'm worth $1.
That's right.
So,
Bingo.
I mean, that's the question really that changed everything.
Yeah. And here's how you know it changed everything. Get this. In 1962, the Dallas Cowboys, an actual professional NFL franchise, America's team, sold for approximately $4 million.
$4 million for a whole team.
Yeah, for the whole team, the players, the stadium deal, the brand, the future TV rights, everything, $4 million.
Yeah, I mean, professional pickleball teams are worth $4 million.
That's so
There's only 2 people on them. But what does that look like today?
Today, the Dallas Cowboys are worth over $9 billion with a B dollars.
That's more than what some countries.
100%.
$9 billion.
Yeah, that's not growth. That's not appreciation. That's complete economic transformation hiding inside a box score. In 1962, you could have bought that entire Dallas Cowboys franchise for less than what a nice house in a good neighborhood costs today.
That's insane.
Yeah, or look at the Boston Celtics, one of the most storied franchises in the history of basketball. In 1972, they sold for $6 million.
You could have had the Cowboys and the Celtics for a cool 10.
I know, right?
That's crazy. But let me guess, the Boston Celtics, they're worth a little bit more than $6 million now, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit. They're worth over $4 billion now. That's more than 600 times the purchase price. That's all in about 50 years, okay? And nobody who bought them in 1972 for $6 million thought they were getting a bargain. Let me tell you that. They thought they were paying way over full price.
Well, Kevin, what does this have to do with retirement? We're talking about team owner retirement here?
Oh, yeah, kind of everything. Here's the question that I want every person, that's listening to sit with. If you knew in 1972 that something worth $6 million was going to become $4 billion, what are you undervaluing right now? What is quietly growing in value while you're focused on today's price tag? And more importantly, what is quietly becoming more expensive while your income stays flat?
Like healthcare, Housing, obviously, groceries. That's been in the news for God knows how long.
Gas right now?
Yeah, gas for real. And it's only going up.
Yeah, right. Well, short term.
Yeah.
Well, it's really all three the same time for 30 years of retirement. That's the retirement, Matt, that most people are not running.
So the athlete salary story isn't really about sports.
It never was. It's about what happens when you don't account for what the world is going to cost in the future. I mean, we're all living longer, right?
Right.
30 years of retirement. You work for 40, you retire for 30. You know, we're
And I
going
mean,
back just
with
50
all the
years.
advances
Yeah.
too, with the stem cells and the peptides. And
Yeah, we're going to be
peop-
40 years
we
of
might have to
retirement.
start. Yeah, I was just gonna say we're gonna have to start planning for 40 years
Right.
of retirement. Okay, I want to put a name on what we're really talking about here because I think some people are hearing athlete salaries and thinking, well, this is a fun history lesson. But you're saying it's something bigger.
Yeah, the word is inflation.
Silent thief.
Silent thief. And I don't mean the inflation that makes headlines, the kind that politicians argue about and financial networks show it in red on a chart. I mean the kind that just moves every year, whether it's making the news or not.
Yeah, that quiet kind.
Yeah, the quiet kind. In 1965, a house cost $20,000. 2025, the same house cost $420,000. That's not a coincidence. That's not a market anomaly. That's a 60 years of inflation doing exactly what it always does.
I mean, that's changing what normal costs. That's the new normal we heard all
Exactly.
about in 2020.
Changing what normal cost. And here's the thing about it that nobody tells you. It doesn't care about your plan. It can't save diligently you can save diligently for 30 years. You can do everything right. You can hit your number and then wake up at 72 and discover that the world around you got so much more expensive while your income stayed the same.
And that's not hypothetical, is it?
Not at all. I want you to think about someone. Don't tell me their name, just picture them. Maybe it's a parent. Maybe it's someone at your church. Maybe it's a neighbor. They saved their whole lives. They put money away every month. They bought a house when houses were affordable. They did everything the magazines told them to do. And now they're 70 years old. Every time they go to the grocery store, they come home a little quieter. Every time they hear what a prescription costs, or what their grandkids' college costs, or what a family vacation costs, they do the math in their head, and the math just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, I think I know someone like that.
Yeah, I think we all do, right? Everyone does. And here's what I want everyone to understand. They didn't fail. They didn't make bad decisions. They weren't irresponsible. They planned for the world that they lived in, not the world that was coming.
Yeah, the kind of present value focus.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you can't go back and fix that.
You can recover from a bad investment. You can recover from a market crash. You can recover from a lot of things, but you can't go back and rebuild 30 years of retirement savings with an inflation assumption that was too low. You just can't do it.
So what does that mean for someone who's listening right now? I mean, what's the thing that they need to do?
The first thing is understanding that retirement isn't a balance question, okay? It's an income question. Not how much do I have, but how much guaranteed income will I have for the rest of my life, even if inflation keeps moving. That's a completely different way of building a plan. And that's what this entire series is about. All right, so before we get to the cliffhanger, and yes, there is a cliffhanger, I want to pause for anyone listening who's already feeling this in their chest.
That home price comparison, 1 year of salary in 1965 is 5 years of income today.
If that landed heavy, it should, because it means the world your retirement plan has designed for may not be the world you're retiring into.
And that's the thing that people realize until it's almost too late. They saved the number they were told to save. They built that mountain of cash. They hit their target. And then the cost of living moved that target.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a false summit almost.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fixable though, but only if you know where you stand right now. So go to planliferight.com, download the free retirement income scorecard, the 8 questions, your age, your savings, your income sources, and your goals.
Yeah, we can calculate your income security score and show you exactly how much of your lifestyle is covered by guaranteed income versus money you're counting on the market not to touch.
And I'll be honest, that score number is the one that surprises most people. They think they're in good shape until they see what percentage of their income is actually guaranteed for life.
And if that number surprises you, that's exactly the conversation we need to have.
PlanLifeRight.com, free, no obligation, but it will change how you see your retirement.
Yeah, 5 minutes on that scorecard could change the next 30 years. I think that's a trade worth making. Kevin, what about the advisors? We have a few fans that are advisors out there. They're out there listening because I can imagine this series hits differently if you're sitting across from clients every day.
Yeah, it does. And here's why. Your clients are not walking in asking about inflation. They're walking in asking about their balance, right?
Right.
How much do I have? Is it enough?
But underneath that question, what they're really asking is, am I going to be okay?
And a balance statement doesn't answer that. An income structure does. That's what I always ask. Hey, did the advisor ask how much income are they looking
Right.
for?
What's
What do
your
they
sleep
need?
at night number?
Yeah, what do you
if
need
your
to
advisor
live on?
doesn't care what your sleep at night number is, you need a new advisor.
That's right.
But how do you make that shift for an advisor, like in that client conversation?
So, that's exactly what we teach here at advisorrescue.net, how to reframe the entire conversation from here's your account balance to here's your guaranteed income floor for the rest of your life.
And honestly, if you're an advisor and your clients are listening to podcasts like this one and they're doing their own research, asking sharper questions.
Yeah, you don't want to be the one who already has that. You want to be the one who already has the answers, not the one playing catch up.
Yeah, because clients are learning about inflation risk. I mean, they're learning about it on their own with self-study, but they're also learning it every time they pull their card out and use it somewhere.
Yeah, to the gas station. Right now.
I mean, they're hearing stories like the ones we're telling on podcasts. They're also hearing it from their next door neighbor and from their own adult children.
Yeah, and everywhere they go to the grocery store, they're feeling it. They're feeling it at the gas pumps. They're feeling it everywhere.
And, when these clients are coming to you and they ask, is my plan accounting for this?
Yeah. It's hard. If your answer is vague or generic, they're going to find another advisor, like Matt said, who can give them a real plan with real numbers. So come to advisorrescue.net, schedule your strategy call with one of our team members. We'll show you how to build the income conversation into every client meeting, how to use this series as a client education tool that opens the door to exactly the planning that they need.
And there's actually products out there that have inflation accounted for, built into it, where, hey, this is what your income is this year. If inflation's 3% next year, guess what? You're getting a raise of 3%.
That's right.
If it's 4% the year after that, guess what? You're getting 4%.
That's right.
They've already accounted for that. These carriers have already accounted for that problem. And if you don't know about those problems, you need to call us, or about those products, rather. You need to call us right away.
Right.
Because the advisors who win the next decade are the ones having the income conversation now, before they need it, before that client panics, before the market moves, before we get a year of 10 or 12% inflation, before it's too late to restructure that income plan.
AdvisorRescue.net. Let's build it together. All right, so next week we travel to 1979. One player, one contract, $1 million.
I'll wear my leisure suit for that one.
Yes. And the entire country lost its mind.
I mean, I can't imagine why $1 million does not sound crazy today. You're the lowest paid player in most leagues at $1 million.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the kids playing college ball are getting more than that. And that's exactly the point. Sports writers wrote editorials calling it the end of professional sports. Fans mailed letters to the commissioner. Owners called it reckless, irresponsible, dangerous, and yet that $1 million in today's buying power is roughly equal to what a senior manager at a mid-sized company earns.
The number that shocked a nation is almost ordinary now.
And if yesterday's impossible is today's normal, what does that mean for the retirement you're building right now? Every generation believes the price it pays is the real price, the permanent price, but it never is.
And that is a question worth sitting with.
Life happens fast.
Make sure your income is ready for it.
I'm Kevin Ross.
And I'm Matt Floyd.
And this is Plan Life Right.